Wanted to use really short. A lot of people who are hearing this in Britain are going to be thinking about the American right wing. They associate it with tough on crime stances, mandatory minimums, 3 strikes you're out. How would you explain this movement towards rehabilitation and lessening incarceration?
Well, I think, frankly, we're prepared to learn and to evolve much more than the left is. We're not trapped by institutions that are protecting the past. And so I'm still very strong about violent crime. I still think Giuliani made an astonishing difference in New York at a time when the city was very dangerous. And I don't think we should take any step back that puts in danger individual citizens who are innocent. But I do think there's a lot we can learn from the effects of dealing with some kind of nonviolent crimes that have clearly had a devastating impact on communities. And we can also learn from the fact that with our modern technologies, we can do a lot more to retrain and rehabilitate and to prepare people to move back into society. Nobody can be happy when you end up with 68, 70% recidivism rate of people going back to prison. Or the Mississippi example, where half of all the people were back in prison within 2 years. I mean, that doesn't accomplish anything for the country.
One of the things that people ask about is gun control or gun issues as far as violent crimes go. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, I don't think that gun control is a problem. I personally think that if you look at states that have concealed carry, they actually have lower crime rates than states that don't.
Do you see this as an opportunity for bipartisanship?
I do, and then this morning on CNN.com, Van Jones and I wrote a piece, and we certainly represent sort of 2 wings of American politics, in which we jointly came out for these kind of reforms and laid out examples of these kind of reforms. And I think you're seeing the desire for reform in the African American community is so deep that there's a willingness to have this conversation that might not have been there 20 years ago.
All right, this needs to be the last question.
All right. There was some talk about education as an issue. How do you believe education reform can impact prison reform? How does it play a bigger role?
Well, when you realize how many of the prisoners score at the very bottom of literacy, if you don't learn how to read during a period when we're paying your housing, we're paying your food, we have total control of your life. If we can't figure out a way to use online learning and other systems to help you learn how to read and how to be productive, why would we think you're going to get a job when you get out of prison? Wait, she gets the last question.
Do you think that a smarter sentencing act before Congress is a way that might accomplish some of these goals?
It's a step in the right direction. They're talking about the one that Senator Lee has put in. And,
yes.
Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction. But if you'll notice here, there is as much concern with what do you do under any sentence as there is with the length of the sentence. There's a real desire here to have a very positive approach that gives people, when they're in prison, a chance to have dramatically better rehabilitation and gives them, when they get on a parole, a lot greater likelihood of being able to stay out and not end up back in prison.
Rather than just shortening federal sentence.
So it's a step, it's a piece of it, but I think actually the federal legislators would do very well to sit down with Mississippi, Georgia, Texas, and learn what the states are already doing that is very exciting.